working in the spirit of the Golden Empire. This is 17 News at Sunrise.
Right now at 6, the president says he deserves to meet his accuser, the whistleblower who reported on that controversial call with Ukraine. Now with Congress on a 2-week break, what will happen with the impeachment inquiry? We'll have the latest from Washington.
Alarming new video shows tense moments aboard a school bus ride home, what the driver's accused of, and the action the school district is taking.
September snow. Old Man Winter making an early move as snow blankets areas of the West Coast, even here in California. So what does it mean for our forecast? We'll have your work week weather coming up. It is 6:02 on this Monday, September 30th, 2019. Good to have you with us.
Wasn't this weekend just beautiful?
It was so incredible.
It was absolutely gorgeous out there.
I was up in Tehachapi, obviously. Down here, though, I'm sure it was just perfect.
It was even clear. Yesterday you were able to see the mountains. It was just an absolutely beautiful weekend. But the big question is, will this wonderful weather continue? Let's turn things over to Vanessa.
Good morning, and yes, the answer is yes. I was thinking about when you were saying it was a beautiful weekend. It's going to be a beautiful week, and we're going to see things pretty much stay in the cooler temperatures, but when you step out the door, it definitely feels very nice out there. 50 degrees with 66% humidity levels out there for us right now. And we're going to see things pretty much pick up in the morning hours, but for the most part, it is staying in those cooler conditions. We're even seeing a high of 70 degrees later this afternoon at 4 o'clock. So beautiful, sunny, clear skies, and definitely not too warm out there for us. Tehachapi, though, 39 degrees currently. So if you're making your way out the door, might want to grab a jacket. I know I get pretty cold in that kind of temperature. 75% humidity levels out there for us. And we're going to start to see things pick up later in those morning hours. We are seeing a high pretty much of 54 degrees later this afternoon. So very cold out there. But I'll let you know if we're going to see this trend stick around in our pinpoint weather coming up in just a little bit.
Once again, we've been talking about this crash on the 178 at the mouth of the canyon all morning long. Now, right now, it's not going to be necessarily an issue for you at this moment. But later this morning, CHP says that they're going to get the car that went off the side of the road. They're going to recover it, they say. So that's going to happen between 9 and 10 this morning. Now, this all started around 2:30 this morning when a stolen car, CHP says, went off the side of the road just at the mouth of the canyon. It did not go into the river. It was stopped on the rocks. But CHP says they now have to get that vehicle, and they said they're going to do that between 9 and 10 this morning. So be mindful of that. Change your plans if you need to, if you're going to be going through the canyon this morning. Other than that, everything's looking great across the county. We'll have another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
New this morning, the Kern County Sheriff's Office is investigating the death of a woman in the Kern River Valley. KCSO says deputies got a call about a victim of assault just before 7 last night. They were dispatched to the 5500 block of Paiute Mountain Road where they arrived. KCSO says firefighters and paramedics were already performing life-saving measures, but the woman died at the scene. Anyone with information is asked to call KCSO at 861-3110, or you can remain anonymous and call the secret witness hotline at 322-4040.
6:05 now, and the Bakersfield Sikh community is coming together to mourn the loss of a deputy shot and killed in Texas. Last night, they met at Stone Creek Park in southwest Bakersfield for a candlelight vigil in memory of Deputy Sandeep Dhaliwal. Dhaliwal was shot during a traffic stop Friday in Harris County. The sheriff called Dhaliwal a trailblazer. He was the first Sikh man to join the Harris County Sheriff's Department. He's also believed to be the first to wear his turban on patrol. The sheriff said Dhaliwal served his community with integrity and pride and was respected by all.
Terrifying moments for kids on their way home from school last week. A little boy called 911 on his school bus driver, saying he thought she was drunk. And now shocking newly released video shows the driver acting erratically and screaming at kids aboard the bus. NBC's Sam Brock has the story.
For the first time, stunning video coming to light of elementary students shrieking with terror earlier this month as their Washington State school bus driver, allegedly drunk at the time, rambles and drives erratically.
I am crazy. I'm totally crazy. I am so fun crazy because I love life.
She was drunk because she passed 3 red lights and she got on side road.
A 10-year-old boy on that bus phoned 911 once he got home.
And as a system, this should not have happened.
The Longview School District now promising to screen drivers before they get behind the wheel.
Yeah!
48-year-old Catherine Macarone ran 2 routes, one with high schoolers, then another with elementary students, in total up to 90 kids. Even continuing her rant to an empty bus.
My marriage sucks.
Before dispatch forced her to the side of the road. According to the police report, Macarone's blood alcohol level more than doubled the legal limit for a bus driver, and she advised deputies about taking anxiety and sleep medication. She faces charges of DUI and reckless endangerment and is no longer employed by the school district.
Boys and girls, we do have basic rules.
But on this day, many of those rules apparently smashed, with some soul-searching ahead for district officials. Sam Brock, NBC News.
A man accused of killing his sister at their Tehachapi home is set to appear before a judge this morning. Gina Armstrong died last month. The sheriff's office says she was stabbed several times, and family members say her brother, Joey Armstrong, is responsible for her death. Court documents reveal a witness told police Armstrong was arguing with his sister for using the AC with windows open, running up their electricity bill. The witness says Armstrong left the room, then they heard screaming and found Gina bleeding in the garage. Documents say Armstrong changed shirts and hid the knife, but investigators found them both. Armstrong is due back in court this morning. Another road closure to the long list of projects happening around Bakersfield. There will be nighttime closures tonight through Wednesday between northbound Highway 99 to eastbound Highway 58 from 9 p.m. through 5 a.m. To get on eastbound 58 from northbound 99, you should exit at Ming Avenue, continue to Chester Avenue, then use the Chester on-ramp. You're urged to slow down and watch for construction workers and equipment.
6:09 now. Changes are coming to KGET Bus. Riders will soon have to shell out more money before hopping on board. Starting tomorrow, a single ride will cost $1.65. That's up 10 cents from the current fare. A 31-day pass will run $45. That's up $3. And KGET Bus says the new prices are part of an incremental fare increase. The system is designed to pay for improvements like buying new buses with USB ports, building a transit center at CSUB, and launching the on-demand ride-hailing service, Ride. You can find a full list of the fare increases on our website, kget.com.
6:09 now, and still ahead this morning on Sunrise, efforts to recall Governor Gavin Newsom.
The push to get him out of office early and what's required to make that happen. We're back at 6:12. The winds were howling in Northern California this weekend. So much so that a tornado warning was in effect in Yolo and Solano counties Saturday. And Nolan told the affiliate in Sacramento that he could see the tornado sucking things up in its way through an orchard. He called it, quote, quite spooky.
You know, we see dust devils every once in a while around town. It's a little larger.
Yeah, it's not a dust devil, a little different, huh?
It's actually pretty scary. Yeah. I don't know what I would do if I would see that.
I can't imagine. No one was hurt, though.
Well, that's the good news. It's just hard to believe this was in
California.
Yeah,
I know.
That's crazy. Well, hopefully we don't see any of those anytime soon around here.
That is true. But you know what? I mean, the weather has just been wonderful here. I mean, I know in other parts of, California and up the West Coast, it's been a little crazy, but here it's been very nice.
I know. Perfect. I love it. And it's sticking around at least for the remainder of this week. We are taking a look at Bakersfield right now. So slightly cooler than normal, 50 degrees out there, 66% humidity levels. And we're going to stick around with that. We're going to pretty much see those cooler conditions for the next several days, even through those evening, morning hours as well. So keep that in mind. Radar and satellite, we are expecting clear conditions in Bakersfield, although we will see some cloud coverage this morning. But for the remainder of this week, we are going to see things pretty much clear up and just pretty much stay in that cooler condition. And current conditions, speaking of cooler, we are seeing 47 here in Lake Isabella, 39 Tehachapi, 52 in Arvin, 36 Fraser Park. So if you're making your way out the door, just keep that in mind. It is very chilly out there. Regional current temperature is 41 in Reno, 51 in Fresno, 50 in Bakersfield, 57 in San Diego, and 60 in Los Angeles. So pretty much staying in those cooler conditions for the remainder of this day here. 18-hour futurecast, we are expecting to see clear skies in Bakersfield for the next several days. Regional forecast, though, Monday we are seeing 73 degrees in Fresno, 79 in Las Vegas, pretty much those 70s across the board. So, definitely a drastic change from what we saw last week. Pismo Beach forecast 48 degrees, clear conditions right now. We will expect to see that sunrise pretty much make its way through later this morning. Pinpoint Valley forecast, though, wind northwestern winds can go up to 5 to 10 miles per hour. 70 degrees pretty much across the board, unless we're looking at Maricopa 67 and 69 in Taft. And we start to see things cool down pretty drastically in those evening hours. Breezy conditions in the mountains. We are seeing western northwestern winds go up to 15 to 20 miles per hour, with gusts making their way up to 25 miles per hour. And we see those 40s, pretty much even 30s in those evening hours. Pinpoint Desert forecasts windy conditions. Northwestern winds can go up to 15 to 20 miles per hour, with gusts making their way up to 30 miles per hour. And 75 in Ridgecrest will be the high. Definitely a drastic change from what we've seen earlier this month. Now our valley forecast, like I mentioned, we're going to see that cloud coverage earlier today in the morning hours, and then things start to clear up. And then we see similar conditions this weekend, but pretty much for the remainder of this week, we are seeing those low 80s across the board, but we will see a high of 89 degrees this Sunday. And taking a look at our mountain forecast, we are expecting breezy conditions through Tuesday, even windier on the windier side today. And then we see those 70s pretty much for the remainder of this week, a high of 77 degrees by this Sunday, although it's not really too much of a high. Definitely beautiful sunny skies for this weekend. And our Kern Valley forecasts similar conditions, although we are expecting breezy conditions through Tuesday, even Thursday, cloudy conditions on Saturday, and beautiful. It's going to be a high of 86 degrees this weekend. Any big plans?
This weekend.
This weekend.
You're like,
no,
it's
gotta
too
go
Monday
outside
thinking-
though, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
I mean, I think at this point, just enjoying the days, or we'll take them.
Yep.
So nice.
Can't
Loving
wait.
this weather.
All right, let's take a look at your morning commute and see how things are going. And we're going to take you outside. Once again, we're talking about this accident on the 178 near the mouth of the canyon. And we've been talking about this all morning long. Around 2:30, a stolen car, CHP says, went off the side of the road. It didn't go into the river, but it did stop on some boulders. They're going to be getting that car between 9 and 10 o'clock this morning. So, which means that they're going to shut down the Kern River Canyon at that time so they can recover that vehicle, they say. So just be mindful of that. It could be a little bit of an issue if you have to get through the canyon. Otherwise, either go now or go afterwards. But in the meantime, you can download our 17 News app to receive the latest traffic alerts sent directly to your phone. We'll have another check of your commute coming up in about 14 minutes.
It's 6:17, still ahead. The president's own U.S. Marine Band is set to perform in Bakersfield for the first time in 10 years.
More on an opportunity to see the band. That's coming up after the break. Welcome back to 17 on Set. Joining me this morning is Dick Taylor, the president of Patriots of Kern, here to talk about a really, I don't want to say once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but it almost seems like that. We've got the president's Marine Band coming to town.
It is great. Last time they were here was in 2009.
So, and you said that they only come around every 10 years.
Right. So it's part of their national tour. They pick a different region of the United States every year. And so it's the West Coast turn right now.
Well, it is an unbelievable concert. I've actually had the chance to see them in years past, and it's just unbelievable to see the Marine Band play. Now, we've got some good news and some bad news. Let's start with the bad news first.
Right. The bad news is that the tickets are sold out. They were free tickets. The event is sold out. The good news is that there's still an opportunity for individuals that did not get an opportunity to get a seat or to get a ticket. The Marine Band has what we call the 15-minute rule. And at 2:45 p.m., 15 minutes before the concert starts on October 20th, all tickets become void. So all ticket holders are required to be in their seats at 2:45, at which time we have a standby line waiting outside Rabobank Convention Center, and at which time the standby line will be allowed to go in, and those people will be able to fill those unclaimed seats.
So this is also for people who have already gotten a ticket.
Right.
You got to be in your seats by 2:45, otherwise you may lose your spot.
Right. There's no lollygagging around. You need to get in your seat and be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you really want to see this band perform, and they're going to be here on next month around October 20th, right?
Correct. Yeah. It's a Sunday afternoon.
Okay. So again, you'll have plenty of time to see them if you want to stand by in the line. And again, if you are going to this, because 3,000 tickets went just like that, you
Oh,
said.
yeah. And even the headquarters of the Marine Band back in Washington, D.C., they were impressed with the speed at which Bakersfield sold out of the concert.
Okay, so this is going to be a popular concert, of course. If you want the chance to stand by in line, make sure you do that early on October 20th because it's going to be a very popular concert. And, of course, they only come around every 10 years. So.
Right. Well, and there's no guarantee that those people in the standby line can get in. However, it's rare that even on the last time when we've hosted this in 2009, I was involved then as well, It's rare that people in the standby line can't get in as well.
Okay, so that is the good news there.
Yeah.
All right, we'll post all this information on KGET.com. We're back after the break.
Welcome back at 6:25. 2 kids battling cancer are helping others who are suffering from the disease. They've discovered that a ton of love can make a whole bunch of pound cakes.
Ken Curtis introduces us to these remarkable kids and the man who inspired them.
11-year-old Thomas Evans is a cancer patient.
He had a very large mass of his abdomen.
Doctors removed that 11-pound mass.
I love her.
Addison James has battled cancer for a year and a half.
It's called medulloblastoma.
She's only 9.
You don't think it's going to be your family.
The odds against childhood cancer, 285 to 1.
She said, Daddy, we have to go back to Birmingham or I'm going to die.
But for that one, the disease is cruel.
8 rounds of chemotherapy that lasted about 7 months.
You never know when the day before is the day before. I will tell you that.
You don't. How quickly your life turns upside down.
After many trips to Birmingham and Cincinnati, Addison and Thomas are finally winning their battle.
If you didn't know, you would never know that he has cancer.
Cancer survivors who are now paying it forward.
Can I pour like halves?
These days, they're spending much of their time in the kitchen making pound cakes.
And then we're going to mix that until it's light and fluffy.
An inspiration from those who helped them.
Hey, Mr. Steve!
Meet Steve Hardwick. He became inspired 5.5 years ago.
Never baked a cake in my life and got my mother's recipe, bought a KitchenAid mixer.
Steve wanted to help a leukemia victim he had never met.
I told my daughter that I could probably bake 20 cakes and raise $500.
He raised nearly $10,000. Since then, and with the help of friends, he has raised $380,000.
Well, it's a lot of fun raising money.
Cat is 6 years old.
He's talking about Catherine Elmore. She has liver cancer and is in a bad place.
Thomas, you want to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Thomas and Addison know all too well.
Right now I've got the butter and the sugar and the eggs in there. I'm just
Loves ingredients. They're firing up ovens. Helping Cat with pound cakes. The way the cakes help them.
There's $13,279 in there.
Money that will help her family cope with the financial burdens. She's headed to Birmingham this week for treatment.
The strength is in these little children.
It's amazing what a few eggs, a little sugar, a mixer, and a lot of love can do.
And there is a whole network of good-hearted people baking pound cakes for kids with cancer. They pay for supplies out of their own pocket, so all the money raised from the sales of the cakes goes to the kids.
That's great. All right, well, still ahead in our next half hour on Sunrise, a man who plowed through an Illinois mall in his SUV is due back in court today.
Yeah, the charges he now faces and the latest on the investigation coming up after this.
Good morning, just past 6:30. Great to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher.
It is Monday morning, and it is going to be a beautiful day out in Kern County. Let's check in with Vanessa Dillon for a look at your forecast. Vanessa, these temperatures are just absolutely wonderful.
It's a little chilly, though.
It's a little chilly. I had to bring
morning.
the jacket in.
From someone who hates the cold, I'm loving it. It just is so nice out there right now, and we are seeing 50 degrees right now in Bakersfield, and things are going to get slightly warmer in the afternoon, but I'll get into the details in just a little bit. 66% humidity levels, so outdoor forecast, we are expecting a high of 70. That will be our high, so definitely very beautiful out there, and we are going to see things pretty much in the 60s through the morning hours, so if you're like me who likes to carry around a jacket, you might want to grab one because it's going to be very chilly this morning. For Tehachapi, similar conditions still at 39 degrees out there with 75% humidity levels, and we're going to pretty much stay in those cooler conditions through this morning. We all will, though, see things go through the 50s for the remainder of this afternoon, so definitely very nice out there. But will we see things stick around like this? We will get into the details in pinpoint weather coming up in just a little bit. Right now, I'm going to send it over back to Alex for a look at traffic.
All right, thanks, Vanessa, and take you outside one more time. I know we've been talking about this all morning, but I'm going to remind you once again that there was a crash On the 178 at the mouth of the canyon, around 2:30 this morning, CHP says it was a stolen vehicle that went over the side of the road. And CHP is going to be getting that vehicle in a couple hours. So if you're going to be headed through the canyon this morning between 9 and 10 a.m., just know that you could be stopped because of the closure that they're planning on having sometime between 9 and 10 a.m. So you might want to do that either before or after those hours if you have to go through the canyon. Other than that, things are looking pretty good. There is one accident being reported on the northbound lanes of the 99 near the 58. This is just coming down with the last couple of minutes or so, so we'll keep you updated on that. And although it does look like things are on the right-hand shoulder. Everything else around the county looking pretty good to start off your Monday morning. Another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
When will we hear from the whistleblower? That's the biggest question in Washington this morning.
Congress is on a 2-week break, but some lawmakers stayed behind to get started on the impeachment inquiry of President Trump. Tracy Potts joins us from Capitol Hill this morning with a look at what's happening in Washington this week. Good morning, Tracy.
Maddie and Alex, while most lawmakers went home, some stayed. There are 3 committees, Intelligence, Oversight, Foreign Affairs, working overtime. We're told there could be new subpoenas on this as early as today.
Over the next 2 weeks, 5 State Department employees will speak to lawmakers investigating whether President Trump tried to pressure Ukraine to dig up dirt on rival Joe Biden in a phone call with the country's leader.
We don't have to show a quid pro quo, although this conversation comes awfully close.
On Thursday, Congress hears from former Ukraine Special Envoy Kurt Volker, he just resigned, on whether he helped President Trump's lawyer go after Biden or scrambled to do damage control. Then Friday, there's a closed hearing with the Intelligence Committee's Inspector General who told lawmakers about the whistleblower who exposed President Trump's conversation. Lawmakers say they're working out details to get that whistleblower in to testify soon.
If you read the 7-page Little Nancy Drew novel that the whistleblower put together, it drips with condescension, righteous indignation, and contempt for the president.
I hope we can protect this individual's name. I find it highly unlikely in this incredibly partisan environment.
The president tweets, "I deserve to meet my accuser," questioning if the person who informed the whistleblower was spying on the U.S. president. Big consequences, he warns.
President Donald Trump has been caught red-handed with his hand in the taxpayer cookie jar.
I have the president's back because I think this is a setup.
A new CBS poll finds more than half of Americans, 55%, approve of an impeachment inquiry. In Washington, I'm Tracy Potts, 17 News.
And the president is very active on Twitter this morning. Just about an hour ago, the president tweeted, "Rep. Adam Schiff illegally made up a fake and terrible statement, pretended it to be mine as the most important part of my call to the Ukrainian president, and read it aloud to Congress and the American people. It bore no relationship to what I said on the call. Arrest for treason." And in another tweet, President Trump tweeted, #fake whistleblower.
Just about 45 minutes ago, we posted this tweet, which reads, "Who changed the long-standing whistleblower rules just before submittal of the fake whistleblower report? Drain the swamp." An explosion in a porta potty left a woman dead and has firefighters investigating. It happened Saturday near a home that's under construction in St. Augustine. Firefighters say after putting the fire out, they discovered the woman's remains. She hasn't been identified. The state fire marshal is trying to figure out what caused the explosion. Investigators say it's possible the woman was smoking and ignited fumes from inside the toilet. The man accused of driving through a shopping mall near Chicago has been charged with terrorism. You can see people scattering as the SUV plowed through a mall outside of Chicago September 20th. Police arrested 22-year-old Javier Garcia after the car crashed into a store. The crash caused major damage at the mall. Police believe that Garcia acted alone, but they haven't figured out a motive. He's set to appear in court again today.
36 and counting. Another horse has died over the weekend at the Santa Anita racetrack in Southern California. Greg Mills has a reaction from horse racing fans about the tragic death on the second day of the fall racing season.
A quiet day, a small crowd at Santa Anita.
I even had reservations about coming out today because of yesterday's incident.
That incident, N-Tech, a 3-year-old colt euthanized on the track after breaking both front legs in a race.
Could have heard a pin drop. Nobody wants to see the horses go down. Nobody.
And it happened on the second day of the fall racing season. the 32nd horse to die here since December.
Across the country, they've had more breakdowns here than you could take 10 of your top tracks and not have as many.
I did find one with more. A group called Horse Racing Wrongs keeps track of horse racing deaths at tracks across the country. The list is long on their website, and one racetrack in Florida had 34 horse deaths in 2019. That's 2 more than Santa Anita has had since last December.
Nobody wants to see these horses die.
The investigation into the deaths here is ongoing. Nothing determined yet.
There's a lot of money involved here, but the bottom line is the welfare of that horse should come first, and it never does.
Santa Anita's ownership group says in a statement they released, Santa Anita safety measures put horse and rider safety above all else. There is an expected level of safety and accountability that is required to participate at a Stronach Group racetrack. If anything less is found which could have contributed to this incident, it will be addressed immediately.
These trainers and the people that work for Santa Anita and everything, they treat these horses just like their own kids.
Protesters were out here Saturday before the horse was injured, calling for an end to horse racing. Counter-protesters were here too.
Get out of my face!
Things got contentious between the two groups outside the racetrack. And with another horse death, the call to stop horse racing altogether is a little louder. Many believe, though, that's an overreaction.
I don't think they should eliminate horse racing. It's been around forever.
That was Greg Mills reporting. The Breeders' Cup World Championship is scheduled to take place at Santa Anita on November 1st and 2nd.
An effort to recall Governor Gavin Newsom has made its way to Kern County. Petitioners gathered signatures yesterday afternoon at the Chuy's restaurant on Rosedale Highway. Republican Aaron Cruz started the recall petition. Cruz lost in the Senate race last November and is now running for a seat in the House of Representatives. The petition accuses Newsom of mismanaging the state when it comes to things like gas prices, homelessness, and aid for people living in the U.S. without proper documentation. Local facilitator Susan Adams says she agrees with Cruz's stance.
We've got to fight over and over for everything that even Jerry Brown and Gavin Newsom together has put in place.
Locally, the petition needs about 150,000 signatures before going to the Secretary of State's office. In order to force a recall election, organizers would need about 1.5 million signatures from across the state by February.
6:41 now, and it's beginning to look a lot like winter.
In some parts, it certainly is. We'll show you the powdery dusting that appeared in parts of California just 1 week into fall.
Welcome back to 644, and while much of the eastern seaboard is dealing with record-breaking heat for the first time this year, or for this time of the year, I should say, the West Coast is getting its first wallop of winter weather. Snow hammered parts of northwest Montana on Sunday. The governor has declared a state of emergency for areas hit by the early season storm. And in Oregon, people celebrated the first snowfall of the season. Also in Northern California as well, because another storm blew in late last night, dropping temperatures and leaving snow on the ground. It's hard to believe. September 30th, and we're already talking about snow in California and areas of the West Coast.
I just love the snow. I can't wait for the snow season. It's definitely so pretty. It's like a winter wonderland out there.
It is.
And it was pretty cold even up in our local mountains. I mean, the temperatures dropped in the 30s.
I was chilly yesterday. We were out and about, and it was like mid-50s all day. You know, wake up call. To this girl who's lived down here in Bakersfield all her life.
You've been in Montana before.
I have, though. I've been in the cold.
And the kids were cold, right, this morning?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
My goodness.
They're not used to it yet.
Really?
Bundled up.
Yeah, they're going to have to start bundling up.
Like me, I'm always bundled up in
I've got my blanket right here.
That is me every single day. As soon as I'm done with weather, got my jacket back on.
Literally, there's how many jackets do you have?
How many are there? There's
over
a few. Still ahead, a new opportunity for anyone interested in becoming a hairstylist.
Yeah, about a local salon apprenticeship that's coming up after the break.
Welcome back, 17 on set, and joining us this morning from Salon 33 is David Herrera, here to tell us more about a new salon apprenticeship program. Good morning, thanks for coming in.
Good morning, thank you.
So why are you guys excited about this apprenticeship program?
We're excited because it's getting people into the workforce who want to be a barber or cosmetologist faster than going to a traditional barber or cosmetology school.
Oh, so what's the difference?
The difference is we're an apprentice program, so which means you'll be in a salon working as a stylist or a barbershop working as a barber quicker than going to a traditional school, which is 1,500 hours if you're a barber, or 1,600 hours if you're a cosmetologist. With us, it's a 39-hour program, and then we can get you an apprentice license, which means you can start making money and providing for your family and yourself.
And working under someone else.
Working
still.
under a licensed professional, yes.
Okay. And what is the cost?
The cost of our program is $7,800, and it includes a kit, and it includes guest artists, and it includes all the theory and workbook and textbooks.
Okay. And so people can start from zero and do those 39 hours, and then they'll be through the program.
They'll be through the program, but while working, they're accumulating 3,000 hours, and then we can apply them for their state board test to get their actual professional license.
Is this the first time you guys have done this?
Yes, this is the first time we've done this.
And when will the classes be held?
The classes will be held on Sundays for Spanish and English, and on Mondays for English only.
Okay, and when do they start?
They start November 4th.
Okay, so you need people to go ahead and call and sign up
Yes.
now. Okay,
Yes.
We're going to post all of this information on our website, kget.com. You can go there if you'd like to learn any more about the Salon 33 apprenticeship program. Thanks so much for coming in, David. We appreciate it.
Me.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back and taking a live look at Wall Street on this Monday morning. The Dow Jones up 88 points, S&P 500 up about 12, NASDAQ up 32. Well, after a beautiful weekend that we had, let's take a look at your work week forecast.
Beautiful week ahead of us. I can't wait.
lucky.
It's just going to be a great week,
It's a
everybody.
great forecast.
Positivity, yes. Let's look at the forecast right now. We are expecting a high of 89 degrees. That is the worst of it this week. For the remainder of this week, we are looking at those low 80s. But today will be a high of 70 and 70 degrees tomorrow as well. And slightly cooler in the mountains. We are expecting breezy conditions through this Thursday. We even see some cloud coverage on Saturday, but the most part we're looking at a high of 77 degrees by this Sunday, 60 on Tuesday, and even 58 degrees today. So definitely very cool out there. Kern Valley forecast, we are seeing slightly warmer conditions. We are seeing a high of 86 degrees by this Saturday as well, and we see beautiful week for the most part. Just beautiful is the key word today because it is going to be great out there. We are just seeing those 80s being the worst of it for the most part. So definitely something to look forward to.
Not a bad forecast at all.
Not at all.
Tomorrow is October.
Wow.
October 1st.
Where is the time going?
I know.
Scary
The
kind
fair
It's
has
hard to
come
believe,
and gone.
Well, actually, I have to say, don't you hate when the fair ends and you crave all
And
that
it's
fair
like
food?
one whole year.
All
No,
that
I
fair
feel like
food?
I really got my fill, and
did
now
you?
I need to like
Detox?
full-on detox from the lobster fry and
Did you,
pie
Alex? Did you get
overload.
everything you needed?
Yeah, but I could always go for more. Like, I'm craving a cinnamon roll right now. I could always go for a cinnamon roll.
Oh, you know, we have some good cinnamon rolls though here locally.
Yes, but
Hodel cinnamon rolls,
those are good.
some of my fave.
Yeah.
And then
my
there are
gosh,
also
I'm
the ones
so
at
hungry
24th
now.
Street that are as big as your face.
And then they just drench it
No,
in
they're
butter.
as big as your face.
Yeah, they
bigger
just drench it
than
in
your
butter.
face.
Wait, where is this?
We'll show you sometime.
Don't worry, we'll take it.
Goodness.
24th
And also those pumpkin. You were telling me about pumpkin
pancakes.
Oh my god.
It is.
Oh, that's
Getting
true.
so
Season
hungry
time.
It is season
now.
time.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
Let's do that. All right, thanks for starting your morning with Sunrise. More news and weather coming your way in 30 minutes.
Make it a great Monday, everyone.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on KGET.com and our 17 News app. In the spirit of the Golden Empire, 17 News.